Hello friends, welcome back to the Port of Indecision. Today we're in Lerwick, Shetland Islands, and behind me you'll see a ferry's going to take us over to Mousa Island, which means Island of Moss.
We sailed from the Port of Indecision.
Well, our 12-night British Isle cruise, which started in Amsterdam, is now taking us to our 7th port, the most northern port on the island of Shetland, the port of Lerwick. The port of Lerwick is too small for the beautiful Celebrity Apex to dock, so we'll take a tender in, and what's going to be interesting is this is the first time Patti and I have ever tendered on a large lifeboat. Well, the tender ride over was one of the most comfortable we had ever had, and now we were boarding a bus that would take us through the island of Shetland down to where we would get the ferry to go to Mousa to see the Mousa Broch, which dates back over 2,300 years ago. We left the port on a coach bus and were amazed that this small island had such beautiful architecture as we went through the old town and the new town on our way to the ferry for Mousa.
The seafront, the shoreline is, and of course the poorer people lived in the narrower parts of the lanes, which were squalid and overcrowded. Nowadays, if any of the houses in the lanes go up for sale, they are snapped up almost immediately. Area to allow these plants to flourish. That's a special site of scientific interest, or SSSI. In Shetland we have our own at the equator, and in a journey that consisted of oceans drying up, tectonic plates shifting, and continents colliding, we ended up here. And not only do we have part of the Caledonian Mountains, but we have part of the Appalachians as well.
Well, we had a very comfortable bus ride, and now we arrived at the area that we were going to catch our ferry to Mousa Island. And the first thing we saw was our boat named after our first daughter, Kate.
Hello friends, this is Ray and welcome back to the Port of Indecision. We are in Lerwick, Shetland Islands, getting ready to go to Mousa Island on this ferry boat, and this is the coldest day we've had here on our trip. We were in 70-80 degree weather, and then today I'm thinking with this wind chill it's probably 45. You can probably hear the wind. There's the island we're going to be going over to. It's Mousa Island, called Moss, which means Moss Island. We'll see what our captain's name is. What's your name, Captain?
Rodney.
Rodney?
Yeah.
Okay, how long have you been doing this?
7 years.
7 years?
7 years.
Is this a cold day to you, or is this... No?
It is a bit cool, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not much.
We've been in
It's
7...
dry.
I know, it is dry. It is dry.
Yeah.
But do take care on the island because it has been raining overnight. It has been raining overnight, so some areas of the rock will be a bit slippery. Take extra care. Walk alongside the well-trodden path where the grass is just a little bit longer, and you'll get more grip that way.
Rainbow on Mousa Island.
After a quick boat ride across the channel, we pulled into the dock here at Mousa Island, and we were going to walk up to the house to meet our guide, who's going to take us around the island and show us the way to the Broch and give us the history.
think it's Mosey.
Mousa. They're leaving us.
I know. I think they have another group an hour before.
Saying about taking care. Last night, overnight, we had a real downpour, so it will be slippery, it will be boggy, and the surfaces are uneven. So please take care. Now we're going to walk from here to the Broch, go into the Broch, and then from the Broch, we're going to finish walking around the island. Now, not that bit of the island, because that would take us a long time. It's just a small walk round this top part of the island. It takes about 20 minutes to get to the Broch, which is 3/4 of a mile away, and then it takes another hour and a quarter to do the other bit. The total distance is about 2.5 miles.
And we're off on our hike to see the Mousa Broch. Mousa Broch is the best preserved example of a broch in the world. Brochs are among Scotland's most impressive prehistoric buildings. These stone buildings or roundhouses date back to 2300 to 1900 years ago and are only found mainly in North and West Scotland. We're on our way.
Good walk. Beautiful.
Well, as we came around the corner, we got our first view of the Broch in the distance, and we still had quite a ways to go, but we could already tell it was a very impressive structure. Even though we had an overcast day, Mousa Island was beautiful. Seeing the green grass, the beautiful water, and then one feature were these stone walls that seemed to go on forever. The question was, when were these built? Our guide shared that there were 11 families that lived on Mousa Island in the 1700s, and these 11 families built these walls to keep their livestock in, and they're still in incredible shape. As we continued our approach to the Broch, you could see herds of sheep running free on the island. These sheep were probably left here from the mid-19th century when families actually inhabited and farmed Mousa Island. Mousa Broch is the finest preserved example of an Iron Age Broch in Europe. It stands at 13 meters tall, a little over 40 feet, and was built sometime between 400 BC and 100 AD.
Years, built during the Iron Age, and weren't our ancestors amazing that they could build this structure with no instruments, no cement or render, and no degree in civil engineering? And they could have taught us a thing or two, because when we return, you might notice that the Broch that I pointed out to you in the first place, the Clickamin Broch, across the road is a housing scheme that was built in the 1960s, and it's having to be rebuilt. So It just shows you. Now, one of the reasons that this is the best preserved broch is because this island has old red sandstone that easily breaks into slabs. So anybody building on the island did not have to help themselves to what was on the broch because they had readily available building materials here.
So here we are on the island of Mousa, and behind me is a broch that is over 2,500 years old. Patty's actually climbing to the top. I think we might be able to see her.
Made a smart decision. Beautiful day.
Look at that rope on the wall, honey.
Oh, I love that. How about that came up on
The Mousa Island excursion advertised that there would be wildlife, seals, sheep, lots of birds. But to our surprise, seeing gray whales feeding off the coast, as well as porpoises, was a really extra bonus.
The whales are off in the distance.
Yeah, that looked like a dolphin. But
Oh, there's an
a
that's a
out there,
whale.
out there, out
Yeah.
there.
There goes one right there.
There's another one.
Yeah.
In the distance, you can see Mousa Light. This lighthouse was moved to Mousa Island in 1950. It was about 8 years too late, as the armed merchant ship, the SS Murrayfield, was traveling south when she ran aground immediately west of Piri Bard in 1942. Part of its superstructure can be seen deposited on the beaches by storms.
Nearing the end of our hike, and right at the end we had a surprise. We saw lots of seals and what we think were dolphins and gray whales. So we're almost done, and it was a fun day. Well, that was the walk. We're back to the stone house, probably about a 2.5 mile soggy walk through Mousa Island. Saw seals, dolphins, whales, birds, and a broch that's over 2,500 years old. So all in all, a good day. Thanks for watching.